As supply dries up for the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, you will notice the last week or so, I've been referring to how there is a big tide that is turning in the favor of the empath, in the favor of anyone who is not the narcissist. And these people, i.e. the toxic people, the narcissist, and anyone else who's toxic, they know their days are numbered. They know that supply sources are drying up. They know that more and more people are closing doors or avenues of communication to them. You see, the narcissist used to run the world. They used to run the roost. They could pick and choose what supply sources they wanted. They could jump on a plane, go 10 different time zones away, and gallivant the globe, and nobody knew anything of what the narcissist was doing other than themselves. Those days are over. They're finished. They're not returning. Remember, about 6 years ago, well, literally, if you do the math on what year it is right now, the world stopped. And when it restarted, and some people may think it hasn't even restarted, it didn't restart the way it was before. It's a whole new world out there. And guess what? This is advantage empath. This is a very big challenge for the narcissist. You see, the narcissist has to navigate uncharted territory now. Whereas in the past, the empath was in uncharted territory, we are now becoming stronger. We are becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and we are growing in numbers. This isn't just rhetoric. This isn't wishful thinking. This is the culmination of years, and I mean years, of me putting work into myself and to paying it forward to the community and having other content creators of substance doing the exact same thing. You see, all the things that we were taught when we were younger, many of them don't apply to present day. Think about it. What happens in the family stays in the family. Your crazy uncle, oh, don't mind him, he just has problems. Or turn a blind eye. Or you have it so much better than these people. All those things get thrown out the window when you realize that you're being taken advantage of, feasted off of, if you will, for the majority of your life until you met the narcissist. And when that person entered your world, or maybe you were born into the narcissistic family and you never had a chance until you figured out what narcissism was. And when you did, after you put yourself back together and you learned all the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle, such as what is gaslighting, what is stonewalling, the silent treatment, triangulation, financial abuse, on and on. As you learn those things, then you realize, wait, that pertained to me. So did that one, and that one, and that one. And this person who turned out to be the narcissist, they actually did that and that. And see, you were checking all the boxes. And you can't unsee what you've seen, you can't unhear what you've heard, and you can't unexperience what you've experienced. The narcissist never, and I mean never, thought this day would arrive. The day is here. It's happening right now. It's been happening for quite a while. You just perhaps didn't realize it because you were so concerned with your own circumstances, with your own healing, with your own life and your own purpose, and cutting your own ties, which include the financial, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual tie from the narcissist. But while you were doing what you needed to do to heal, the rest of us out here on the planet, we were either healed or healing ourselves, but we were doing our parts. You need to remember this. Play this video, play it multiple times. When everybody does their part, which means close avenues of communication to these parasitical creatures, when we all do our part, think about where the narcissists, where they can go next. They can't go many places. What are they going to do? Sabotage each other? Well, yeah, that's probably what they will do. Remember, the narcissist lives usually in a beehive or a hive mentality. I love bees. I'm giving you an example because bees live in a hive. The narcissist has a hive mentality. They all feed off of each other. They all take turns being the grand poobah and throwing each other under the bus. It's a comedy of errors. It's a circus of manipulation. It is a sideshow, a freak show of toxicity. You were a part of this. You didn't realize that you were part of it, but you were. You're not any longer. And so as the supply sources dry up for the narcissist, they, number one, I'm talking about the toxic people, they know supply sources are drying up too. They now know they don't have access to you. Think about that. Think about how much you did for the person you're considering. You went above and beyond the call of duty. You did as much as you possibly could and more, and it still wasn't enough because the person you're considering would make sure that it wasn't enough, and they try to burn you out. They try to extinguish you. They didn't want your beautiful, bright, shining light shining higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars, and everything in between. However, you're here, and you're healing or you've healed. And the narcissist has to look elsewhere now. They will never find somebody similar to you. Now, you may think, no, they actually did. They found a person who's just like me. Well, guess what? Maybe they found someone who's just like you, but they're not you. And maybe that person figures it out quicker than you did, and they kick the narcissist to the curb. I don't know what's going to happen with the new supply or with the narcissist, nor do I care. What I will tell you is, as long as you're out, you need to stay out. And you need to understand that when you close the avenues of communication to the narcissist, I'm referring to physically, email, phone, texting, calls, FaceTime, anything in between, social media platforms. When you close these avenues down, it benefits you, and it does not benefit the parasitical creature. Again, I don't wish ill will upon anybody. I will not start now. But what I do care about is supporting you and helping you to implement, maintain, and adhere to the boundaries that you have put into place or you will in the very near future. And those boundaries do not include toxicity. They certainly don't include the narcissist, and they don't include anybody who is blaming you, who is guilting you, who is asking you to do things, and who is not in a reciprocal relationship with you. All of these things I'm sharing equal one breaking news flash for the narcissists on this planet. Their time is running out. The time that you had is expiring. The clock is ticking. If you picture an hourglass, if you will, with the sand drifting through the hourglass, when you flip it over, the top of the hourglass has all the sand in it, and over time, all the little grains of sand go to the bottom, and then there's nothing at the top. Well, that's how the narcissist's ability to run the planet is expiring. The time's almost up. It's almost over for the narcissist. Now, you may say, wow, that's a lot of rough words, and how do you know this, and why would you say that, and I don't see it happening that way. Well, you can keep doing what you're doing, keep focusing on what you can control, continue to become awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you will see what I see also. You need to understand, when you're in something like a narcissistic abusive cycle, you can't see what's going on all around you. Your mind is clouded, your judgment's clouded, your perspective is clouded. You're doing everything for the abuser, for the person who is manipulating you, and you do not have a clear vision of what's taking place, not only around you, but exterior, on other parts of the world. You may think, but in the back of your mind, what you're doing is you're still putting out fires that person was creating intentionally. Yes, the narcissist. Now, having said all these things, as the supply sources dry up for this person that you're thinking about, or considering, I should say, they know this is happening. They knew this was going to be how it was going to play out for them eventually. They didn't know what happened today. They didn't know what happened tonight. They didn't know what happened in a week. They thought that they would just be able to gallivant the globe, continue to enter relationships, discard people, wash, rinse, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat, steal everything from those people and more, and begin to just continue to act like it wasn't their fault. Well, that's how it was in the past. That is not how it is right now. And these people know that their days are numbered. They know that they have to actually put an effort in now to try to lure or trap somebody in a relationship. It was so much easier for them 6 years ago. Truth be told, it was a lot easier for them before the internet and the smartphones. But 6 years ago specifically, it was very easy for them as well. But what happened over the last 6 years? Ding, ding, ding. You nailed it. You became awakened and aware. You cracked the code. You figured out what it is. And they never thought you would. So as you were healing and as you were putting yourself back together, just like I did, these people, the toxic people, they had two less people to attack or approach or to try to draw into a web of manipulation. Those two people were myself and you. When everybody on the planet who was ever targeted, or potentially anybody with any level of empathy, closes avenues of communication to toxicity, the narcissist has nowhere to go. They can't escape themselves. What does the narcissist want to do? And why do they need fuel sources? What do they want to do is they want to capture and trap people, to have people spinning around on that hamster wheel of abuse, doing everything they can for the narcissist. And what does the narcissist do while people are spinning around in the hamster wheel? Well, all they're doing is looking for other sources of supply, because they know that person who's on the hamster wheel is going to get burned out, which is why the narcissist is loyal to nobody. They care about nobody. They're shallow, they're hollow, and they're bullies, and they know that they're going to end a relationship, because each and every relationship with a narcissist has an expiration date. But as the narcissist was doing what they're doing, and as they had free run of the planet, because they did years ago, they were just being very greedy. They were full of gluttony. What are those, the 7 signs or the 9 signs of I forget what it's called, but the gluttony's one, greed is one. If you remember, there was that movie that came out with Brad Pitt years ago called Seven. Remember that movie? Kind of graphic, right? Well, those are the things that encompass the narcissist. I'm not talking about what happened in the movie. I'm talking about the 7 deadly sins. That's it. Still got it. Whatever the 7 deadly sins are, there you go. Your narcissist is consumed by those, and it will never be enough. I can picture now that movie called Seven with the person sitting in the kitchen table in their kitchen, and they were a very big person eating and eating and eating because they were a glutton. Well, there's your narcissist. You see, with the narcissist, they have an insatiable quest or quench for supply and for greed and for gluttony, and they know it. It will never be enough. It wouldn't be enough when you were in the relationship. It won't be now with the new supply, and it won't be in the future when the narcissist is looking for breadcrumbs of humanity scattered all over the planet of people who haven't closed avenues of communication with them yet. Remember, and I'm going to close the video, the narcissist knows who they are. They know what they did. They know what they're capable of. And they also know they can manipulate any audience that they're performing for who doesn't know who they are. You need to play that part of the video and play it 100 different times to Sunday, over and over and over again. That is a narcissist in a nutshell. They are performing for audiences of people who don't know who they are. That was you for a period of time, but now you know who they are and you know what they're capable of and what they did to you, which is why you go no contact. And this is why the narcissist better be very careful about how they live the rest of their life going forward. And the reason I'm saying that is because when more and more people continue to close avenues of communication down with the narcissists, plural, these people, the toxic people, they're going to have to start feeding off of each other because that's the only way out for these people. I cannot see another avenue out for the narcissists. If every single person with any level of empathy went no contact on the planet to the toxic people, the narcissists would have to feed off of each other. There is no other way about it. Now, is that going to happen today? No. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. But if you do your part and you go no contact, then you've done what you can do and what you should do to help humanity out, which is what I do every day. And that's why the narcissist supply sources are drying up. Picture a well in the middle of a desert or an oasis, or a well in the middle of a woods or something. When the well's dry and there's no more water in that well, you have to dig a new well, right? That's what the narcissist does. They have to cultivate new relationships, trick people, manipulate them, trap them, use them, abuse them, wash, rinse, repeat. And that's what they've been doing since the minute that they could actually harness or fine-tune their skill set. But their days are numbered. Yes, the narcissist days are numbered. They know it. If you think about what the buzzwords are on the planet over the last 5-6 years, whatever Webster, Merriam's dictionary, or the Oxford dictionary, whatever these things are, one word years ago was the main word of the year was gaslighting. Why do you think that was? You got it. Because it affected you in your life. And because it affected so many billions with a B, billions of people on the planet, it became the word of the year. I believe that was 2021. Don't quote me. Maybe it was 22. I don't know. Anyway, you cut it. Don't be surprised if the word of the year, and I shared this a couple weeks ago in videos, if the word of the year this year in 2026 is authenticity, because that's what it should be. I am as authentic and genuine and as empathetic as you're going to find on this planet. You most likely are too. The narcissist is anything but that. They're the polar opposite of you, which is why they try to extinguish you. They try to brainwash you. They try to live in your mind rent-free, and they try to turn you inside out so you wouldn't stay who you were, that you would become what they wanted you to be, mold you into toxicity. Well, that didn't work so well for the narcissist, did it? No, it didn't. So before I close the video, remember, when you do your part, you help out humanity. You help me out. Just like I'm helping you, you help me out. And when you help me out, you're helping out every other empath on the planet. And what you are doing is you're putting up a boundary, a clear, succinct message sent to all toxic people that you want nothing to do with them because you don't want anything to do with them. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Couple things. 1, got a haircut. Number 2, it's a beautiful day. Number 3, look at that beautiful green foliage coming in so thick now. It is absolutely astounding, Mother Nature, the ability to transform itself from the winter to the spring to the summer. And here it is in the spring in the Carolinas. I hope wherever you are, you're doing great and you are maintaining your boundaries and you're understanding that you have to do your part. So maybe there's someone on your, maybe there's someone that you're still communicating with. Maybe it's in person, maybe it's at work, maybe it's email, maybe it's a fringe person, maybe it's a neighbor, I don't know. But if you're sensing that something's off with people, you really, really need to pay attention. Pay attention to the red flags, trust your instincts, trust your intuition, and realize that you have a skill set that very few people will ever acquire. They won't get the skill set that you've acquired. And the reason you acquired it is because you were trapped and you were hoodwinked and you were being fed off of by a parasite, which is the narcissist, for a period of time. But those days are long over. That's why you're healing, and that's why you need to stay here in this abundance. I love you all, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.